Dear sisters, peace be with you. In this particular session, we shall reflect about our religious life, our occasion. Religious life, yes, you are a religious. It is official. There is no doubt about it. It is constitutional and legal. You have specific uniform dress. You are a member of a community in the congregation always. There is security, membership. This is your home once and for all. You will have full board and lodging, medication, etc., whether you contribute or not. In all these, you are a religious. All consider you, whether inside or outside, as a religious person set apart for God. We are not interested whether you are a religious at all. It is taken for granted. But when you are a religious truly, and how you are a religious, in all that you speak, in all that you do, and in all that you are a religious in name, but in fact, this is the question. Success stories of religious. You must have come across how generally a person is valued for in our religious congregations for promotions, especially during the formation, before taking up simple vows, final vows, etc., all based on success stories. Are they good in teaching? Are they popular in hospital service? Are they good in social services? How are their grades? Are they good in relationships? Are they in time for prayers? How they relate with the other sisters? What are their best qualities that qualify them for a religious life? All questions about your strength. Yes, only about your strength. But God is worried about your weaknesses now. Your religious is valued in actual weaknesses and struggles that you live. Are you weak enough to become a religious? You need to be weak in order to become a religious. Sometimes our own strengths are obstacles for the grace of God to be shown in our lives. Are you weak enough so that the power of Christ can truly shine through you? Because if you are too intelligent, very good in public relationship, or you are not very good looking, so that you are not an obstacle to be reminded of the beauty of God. We are not looking for superwoman. We are not looking for smart sister. We are looking for weak religious sister in whom the power, the strength of God will shine. Yes, if you are a religious, weak person, you constantly need God, you long for God. Sisters, remember your status. You were called when you were weak and sinful. You were called when you are the ugliest. You were called when you are at your worst. You were called when you are at your lowest. God trusted you and called you when you are totally unworthy, when there were other people who were more worthy than you. There is nothing to boast of yourself. Today, do not dare to boast of yourself, sister. You were called because of your weaknesses. Remember that your weaknesses made you even more lovable before God. When sin abounds, where weakness abounds, grace abounds all the more. Are you weak enough to be religious so that you will depend on God? Are you weak enough to rely solely on the grace of God, moment by moment, day by day? Are you weak enough to rely only on the mercy of God and not completely on your own benefits and strengths? We need you, sister, to acknowledge your weakness, because all your strengths, all your high grades, and all your things people speak about you are all gift from the Lord. Your weakness is totally yours, and you shall give this weakness as gift to God. Are you proud that you are considered holy and pious? Let me go ahead to look at ourselves. We went further to ask during the evaluation, they were looking, are they holy? Are they pious? Is she a woman of integrity? How is her character? How is she when no one is watching? Is she a woman of good character or of integrity? Is there no discrepancy between her public life and her personal or private life? Is there no discrepancy between when they are alone and when they are in community? That is integrity and wholeness. Dear sisters, God is not asking if you are holy or if you are whole. God is not asking if you are a woman of integrity or a woman of character. Because, sisters, we are not looking for angels, but women who can become religious by depending on God again and again in spite of repeated weaknesses, so that you would know that religious life and its potential solely depends upon the grace of the merciful and compassionate God. Today, through Him, turn to Him with your brokenness, with your tears, with your firm defects. Come back to the Lord again and again. Remember, check yourself. Are you broken enough? Sisters, Jesus could not live more than 3 years in public life. But we have 95% of religious people celebrating 25 years of profession with heavy dinner and scandalous celebrations. Jesus died as a public criminal, the worst failure, betrayed and cheated by friends, by religious leaders, by political leaders. But what happens to us? We continue to live in peace, undisturbed, totally comfortable. Now the question is, are you broken in order to become a religious? If there is not enough brokenness, and if there is no participation in the passion and in the dying of the Lord, then what is really happening in us? We need you to be broken, sister. Your formation and your religious life is meant for breaking and breaking and breaking until you are crushed. And when you are crushed, God will put you back and make you into a beautiful mosaic so that you can become life givers to others. You will be a crushed glass, but you will become part of a beautiful stained glass design. Daily, you participate in the breaking of the body of the Lord. At that time, you are in your religious life. Tell Lord, break me. I give you permission to break my body. Let all my strength be to die. Let me never say no to you by saying yes to my own whims and fancies. Dear sisters, sometimes your breaking can come from your foolishness and stupidity of sin. You break yourself because you are playing with fire. You know what it is. You know what is the fire you played with already. You are playing with these days. You often justify your activities saying that it's all right. Everybody's doing it, so nothing to worry about. God will understand me. Are you in that status now? Sisters, do not dare. No. You will hurt yourself and you will hurt your inner voice. You will hurt Jesus, who is so soft and gentle with you. You will hurt and cheat your congregation, your province, and your own community, your sisters. Sisters, never try to stay as you are. You will have to break yourself. You will have to say no to your inclinations. This will be hurting you several times. I need to warn you that sometimes hurting can come from your provincial, from your superiors, from your friends, from your companions, from your seniors, or from your own juniors, even from your novices, or from your apostolate, from people, from children, from patients. At such times of breaking by others, consider that your breaking is making you finer and finer so that you will become more and more brighter and meaningful. Sometimes that breaking can come from the Lord. Be ready to be broken. Dear sisters, do not run away. Do not shield yourself when troubles come. The breaking can make your religious life holier. There is no religious life without breaking, without the willingness to be crucified and to die like the Lord. If they gossip against you, or if they ill-treat you, if they take you for granted, if they calumniate against you, do not get upset. If they have happened, if these things have happened for you while you are totally innocent, just get back to the Lord with all your brokenness. Dear sisters, he underwent betrayal. He was cheated. He was murdered for nothing. In such brokenness, you are strengthened by the power from above to remain firm with a deep solidarity with Jesus on the cross. This is religious life. Dear sister, whisper a prayer of thanksgiving that you are participating in solidarity with the suffering Jesus on the cross. That you are living your religious life meaningfully. Because when they break you, when you are sharing in the brokenness of your body of the Lord, and that is the path to holiness. Dear sister, are you weak enough to be religious? Are you broken enough in order to be religious? In our times, we are threatened with so many things for being Christian, for being a generous religious, genuine religious. You may be in a hypocritical society, hypocritical members in the congregation, in the province, hypocritical sisters in your own community. You may come across scandals all around you. You may come across cowards and cheats. Many who cheat themselves and cheat others may get better recognition in your religious life, in your community, and in the society. Are you brave enough to stand by yourself and to live up to your own call? Did Jesus called you, trusting you in your holiness? Are you brave enough to live up to your own vocation? Are you also a coward like others? Are you going to cheat like others? Dear sisters, we are looking for courageous religious to march ahead in this hypocritical world of today. But there is another type of search. Is it only bravery that is needed? Is that we are here to stand with the coward in reality? But on the other hand, we need to check, are you afraid enough in order to be religious? Dear sisters, are you afraid so that you can be good religious? You must be courageous against errors, but you must be afraid of sin. You must be brave to stand for the Lord, but you must be coward to be separated from Jesus. In religious life, there's nothing as there is no fear. You must be sufficiently afraid. You must be afraid of hypocrisy in your life. Dear sister, you must be afraid of lying. You must be afraid of lust. You must be afraid of abusing your sexuality. You must be afraid of cheating money from your apostolate, from your school, from your hospital, from your social apostolate, etc. You must be afraid of stealing money from the people. You must be afraid of being strict with the poor, with the downtrodden, with the illiterate. You must be afraid of showing your power over the innocent people in the villages, among the Dalit, among the tribal. You must be afraid of comforts and conveniences, because all these things distract you from your real occasion. Dear sisters, you must be afraid of seeking comfortable places, posts, positions, promotions, studies abroad, name, and popularity that can keep you far away from the poor and the marginalized and from the Lord. You must be afraid to become a procurator, a treasurer, or the city-based lifestyle with conveniences, while your congregation is focused on the poorest and the neglected in your charism, according to your founder. You must be afraid to become city matriculation school correspondent or a principal, while you offered your religious life to live for the poorest, the target groups that are suffering in remote areas. Dear sisters, you must be afraid of any position that lead you to prominence, easy popularity attained through the involvement of others, through the hard work of others, and not because of you. Don't enter into this type of easy living. You must be afraid of access to opposite gender in chatting, wasting time, reducing your time for God search, reaching out to the needy, spending time in WhatsApp, social media, etc. You must be afraid of friendship with the rich and the powerful at the cost of the suffering ones. You must be afraid of any cliques based on caste, religion, language, region, etc., ultimately destroying your fraternal love, your genuine community life. You must be afraid of becoming a bossing over a groupism, casteism, gossips. You must be afraid of wasting your time in social media, while so much of your time could be spent for the suffering people in your rural areas, slums, and with the rejected people of your society in the name of caste and language. You must be afraid of spending excess time with few friends and reducing your time for the elderly people in your community, in the society. Spending time with the unwanted people in your community, if the differently abled people and the downtrodden in society. You must be afraid of wasting your meditation time sleeping there without any conscience. You must be afraid to say no to the requests from the humble ones for your cooperation, for your time and your sacrifices for their welfare. You must be afraid to silence the innocent ones and the sincere ones at the expense of the so-called powerful person in the community and in society. You must be afraid to say yes to the worldly ways with all its temptations, to the detriment of that gentle inner voice that calls for your conversion, for your change and transformation. Dear sisters, you will receive lot of money, lot of food, lot of clapping, but be afraid of becoming celebrities. Be afraid of sin. Search for the smile of the Lord. Be afraid to lose Him in your life and in your choices. Because when you lose Him, even if people call you Reverend Sister, you are not. You are lost. They may still call you Sister, Mother, Superior, Reverend, Holy Person, etc. But you have lost the Lord in your life. You are lost forever. Every day, just before the Holy Communion, you must have heard the priest says in silence, Lord, let me never be separated from you. Yes, sisters, never get separated from the Lord. Keep your intimacy with Him and listen to His silent prompting. Unless you are tuned to Him constantly, you will miss His voice. You will miss to listen to His inner voice. It is within you. And thus ends your life and your commitment also. Are you weak enough to be a religious. Dear sisters, I'm happy to share these experiences, these reflections, some of them from one Archbishop Socrates Villagis. But I have added my own reflections. It's very important for us to rethink about our religious life. Today, I wish you all the best. But how I wish that you get a life that is always easy, always peaceful. It will be wonderful for me to wish you a comfortable life, a life in which no people will oppose you. I can wish you a life of fulfilling ministry and apostolate where everything becomes success. Wherever you go, you become a bright shining star. How I wish for that. But dear sisters, real genuine religious life cannot be so. Because when the Lord told you, come, follow me, he actually told you, dear sister, come and die with me. Break yourself like me. Dear sister, every moment of your life and religious life should be a daily dying, a painful process, a cry in front of Jesus in your loneliness. When you participate in the Holy Mass, in the breaking of the bread, you also say, Lord, break me too. When you are confronted with weaknesses, say to the Lord, Lord, I am unworthy, strengthen me. When you are afraid to go on, say, Lord, do not allow me never to be separated from you. Dear sister, you are a religious for eternity. God knows you are weak, and God knows that you are broken. God knows that you are afraid and have fears. This takes you back to Him in humility, in tears, in your cry, saying, Lord, be with me because I am nobody without you. Yes, sisters, your religious depends on whether you are on the side of God, whether you are on the side of Jesus, or on the side of the world. God knows you more than you know yourself. Even if He knows you in and out, He still loves you and calls you, come, my beloved, follow me. It is the same voice that gives meaning and purpose when life is dark and difficult. Dear sister, always move on, rise up. The Lord calls you. Be faithful against all odds. The Lord called you with a deep trust in you. Even if you don't trust Him, or even if you don't trust yourself, nor your ability to turn back to Him, nor your ability to turn back permanently. The same Lord who called you is running after you today. He is the good shepherd searching for the lost sheep. Remember, sister, when He's searching for you, the one lost sheep, remember, He is ready to sacrifice the 99. He leaves the 99 just once in the wilderness and running behind you like a mad person. Probably when this shepherd returns back, the 99 may not be there because they were all in the wilderness. But He is mad after you. He loves you immensely. He is so foolish only for your sake. Nobody will leave the 99 come after you. But remember, if that lost sheep were to be only you, just for your sake, He was ready to sacrifice the 99. Remember your greatness. Remember the special call that you have received. God is after you. Dear sister, in this call, you may be broken, you may be weak, but you may be afraid. But there's one thing sure. He is there to pick you from your brokenness, from your weaknesses, from your fear. Dear sisters, review your life, revive your life, renew your life, resurrect from a past to a new life, relive your call. Go back to be with Him, to revive your life of intimacy with Him. Come back to the Lord. Understand the greatness of your call to this religious life. Never sell it to worthless things. Never lose it to the mundane and worldly pleasures. Never miss it for cheap comforts. Decide. Change your life. Change your mindset. Change your directions. Rise up. Dear sister, your religious vocation is a rare gift chosen before the foundations of the world, that you should be holy and blameless before Him. You are carved in the palm of my hand. You are the apple of my eyes, and I love you. You are my beloved. Dear sisters, here are some questions for your reflections and concrete actions. What are the top blocks you face at the present life that keeps you unfit for religious life? Maybe with regard to persons who are blocking you, any place that is blocking you, a comfortable place, cities, communities. What two things that is blocking you? Or any two incidents that block you from growing into religious life? Or any of your two characters? Remember two of each of these. What are the top blocks that you are facing at the present moment that keeps you unfit? Second question, how you broke your religious vows after pronouncing them? Remember just two incidents. How you have broken the vow of poverty in handling money, power, hiding things, not transparent, not accountable. Vow of celibacy, dealing with persons, dealing with media. Third one, the vow of obedience, the way you relate with the seniors, juniors, community, superiors, provincials, and your apostolate. How do you break your religious vows in these areas? Third question, what concrete action you would take to strengthen your religious life from now on? 1. Relationship with God and others in the congregation. How do you relate? Obedience. Second, relationship with yourself and others and use of media. With regard to celibacy, how you plan to start from today onwards, now onwards. Third one, in your relationship with things, places, positions, persons, how do you plan to be different from now on? Sisters, remember, believe that you are called to be different, and you have the ability to become different, and you can live differently from now on if you decide. Dear sister, you are a chosen grace. Remember your greatness in your vocation. Keep up the initial vigor and determination always. Come back to the Lord moment by moment. Remember you are called to holiness. Relive your commitment for others, especially the poorest and the neediest. God bless your journey. Your co-pilgrim, Brother Nitya. Thank you, sisters. Spend some moment in deep silence. Listen to the voice of God closer to your heart. You may spend some time here itself. Gently close your eyes. Go deep into yourself and revive your religious life. There are so many things totally unbecoming of your religious life. Not even normal human person, family would do the way you do with regard to your lifestyle, your religious life, your commitment. Remember, you are not called here to follow others, but Jesus. Oftentimes, you may have to be alone here. You may be the only person to live in that particular life. Start. God believes you. Even if you don't believe, God trusts you. God is believing you. You are holy. You are a grace on earth. You are an angel on earth. God bless you.